Well, I'm excited to welcome you to this week's episode of the Elite Advisor Report. And I want to share with you some success tips for releasing non-ideal clients. I got to tell you, one of the things that if we're going to really have the level of success that you probably want, and I want for you, to kind of race up what we call the hierarchy of advisor success, it's very likely you have some clients right now that aren't right for you, and they could be better served somewhere else. Well, how do you release these clients? Because, they got you to where you are today, and you should have a tremendous sense of loyalty. Well, in this short video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it. I'm John Bowen, CEO and founder of CG Worldwide. And I got to tell you, I was an advisor, and I had the privilege of growing my practice with two partners to $2 billion. And I'll never forget the time where we made the decision that as CEO, if I were going to continue growing the business, I had to release clients. Now, let me just share with you, in setting the stage, I thought there was no way they weren't going to they'd leave the firm if they weren't working with me. I can still remember buying a box of tissues and bringing it in to the office because I thought I would have so many clients crying. I got to tell you, the only one that was crying was me, and that they were very open to that move. And that allowed us to grow dramatically, a huge, huge difference. So let me share with you the key takeaways you're going to have in this episode. Have your wealth management process in place before releasing clients. It's so critical. You have to have a world-class client experience, and I'm going to show you why. Second thing that you want to have in place is that you have kind of a plan to release clients in tranches. Okay, call it releasing them for new opportunities. In the real world, so often you're not, you're as you're growing your business, you probably aren't serving them well, and we'll talk about how you can release them properly. And how critical it is to maintain great communication for everyone involved in the process so that it works to everyone's advantage. This is one of those tactics that is done oftentimes haphazardly, and when done well, will change your life and make a huge difference for those clients you're releasing. So let's get started. Okay. Let's be honest. There's probably at least a few clients, and I'm going to guess there's many more who aren't simply right for your practice, for you and your practice. And this can be holding you back. And I'm guessing, if I asked your team, they would make it an even a larger list of inappropriate clients for where you are now, let alone where you want to take your business. And this is critical to address because it can hold you back and quite honestly hold your clients back that are inappropriate. They can be better served by someone who's working that particular market, who wants to be a hero to those clients. So when it comes time to disengage from non-ideal clients, there's 4 typical options to consider: quiet file, hire, transfer, and sell. Let me just touch on each of them first. Quiet file is what most advisors do. It's simply a promise: if you don't call me, I won't call you. It's a quiet file. And this is just really bad positioning for your firm. It's going to hurt your reputation. Oftentimes these people call and they're angry because they haven't gotten good service, and it takes more time for your team and service providers. It takes more time than you think. So the worst situation is to do quiet file. If they're a client, you owe it to them and to the firm to provide world-class client experience. The second is to go ahead and hire. And this is a real common one that we hear from advisors. What they do is they say, well, they aren't good clients for me, but there is revenue there. Why don't I go and hire someone and they can serve it. Well, here's the problem with that. These clients aren't very profitable, or maybe not profitable at all for you to do. You're going to hire someone else to do the work, and you got to manage them. Okay, that's a losing equation. I don't think we have to go any further. Third is, if you have a larger firm, you can transfer. And this can be the right solution. If you're at a big firm, at a wirehouse, oftentimes they have a smaller account division, or there may be a little larger accounts where someone in your branch may make sense to deliver that. And you can sometimes do it in a joint code. Remember, you're going to still have some responsibility. And when you transfer, one of the things I want to see you do is make sure that you owe it to these clients to take good care of them. Now, in my case, I had a pretty large practice, and I had some really good teammates. And I brought, and I shifted, I had about 150 clients at the top, and shifted all but 10. I wanted to keep 10 so I could keep my fingers on the pulse of what was going on. And as I made the transfers, I had them come in, and I said, they've known, we built a large office building, things were going exceptionally well. And I said that, we'd make this, I'd introduce them to their new advisor so that they could get better service. And that I would still be on the investment committee and oversee. And I got to tell you, I was expecting, remember the tissue box? Nobody cried, nobody at all. And I sent Barbara and Kent and Craig transferred my accounts to, and the main thing I heard was a lot of thank you letters. They got great experience, and this is what happens over and over again. Now, my clients were, all $1 million and above type clients, so it was well worth it to keep them inside the business. But with other people, as I moved my minimum up to $5 million and beyond. And that was a real opportunity. Now, I want you to remember, when I first got started, my minimum was not anywhere near that. So, one of the things we want to do is help you move up quicker than what you ever expected, with less effort and faster type thing. Now, so if we go back to this, we talked about quiet file. You don't want to do that. Hire, really probably the worst idea. Transfer, just be clear that it makes sense. If you own the business and you're transferring it, you don't want to make it effectively like hiring. And the second is, if the firm's going to do really good service and you have outlets, go ahead, that can be appropriate. But quite honestly, my favorite oftentimes is to go ahead and sell. And this is, packaging up the assets, and the relationship and selling it. There's some great services out there, the low-cost solutions to sell. But you want to make sure that you do it in tranches. If you decide to transfer or sell, there's 7 steps we have you go through. The very first is, you got to have the process in place. This is critical, that you're delivering a world-class client experience and you're growing your business, so that gives you the confidence. Second, you've identified the right provider. So there's someone that you're going to be selling or transferring it to that's going to take better care of the client. Release in tranches. I'll never forget the very first corporate coaching program we did. A very successful advisor transferred his whole practice. He sold his whole practice because he wanted to do a do-over. Well, he did it so quickly, and he hadn't figured out how to grow his business yet. It was at the first meeting. And he sold right away, and he sold to the wrong person. So he ended up having to take that back, grow his business. Hugely successful advisor, but set himself back probably 6 months to a year. You want to release in tranches. One of my favorite was the very first coaching program, a woman, Kim, who had, bottom clients that represented maybe $85,000 of revenue. She packaged those up and sold. This is back in 2004, 2005. I still remember it. And she then, within 90 days, replaced those assets. So there was an advisor who was already growing, wanted to really work at the lower end of the market, felt very comfortable. It was a second career individual, retired, and he loved doing it. She made sure that he was up to speed to do a great experience, and he paid 3 times the revenue over a 5-year period. So it was a phenomenal, and she replaced it with 2 clients type thing. I don't remember how many clients it was. So, release in tranches. Get good at this. Establish close client contact. Talk to the clients and make sure you're doing the transfer so it's really smooth. And then, one of the things is keep all parties interested so it works. You keep them informed, but keep them interested so it's moving. We find that almost, it's usually 95% of the clients transfer. Get any compliance assistant, that's needed. Make sure you're papering everything well. And then maintain great service on your clients and continue, now that with that free time, the organic growth opportunity you have. Now, letting go of clients who aren't a right fit in your business can be a win-win situation. It's a win for the client because they're going to get the full attention of the new people who are taking over, who you've vetted. Second, it frees up a tremendous amount of time, not only for you, but for your team. So it's very important to take the right steps to sell or transfer these clients successfully. And what we find is so many advisors, as they're racing up the hierarchy of advisor success, they take on clients at lower levels that don't make sense long term. And they have way too many clients. What we find, if you're going to build an amazing life of significance, taking care of the people you love, causes you care about, and making a difference, you have to go ahead and work with fewer but wealthier clients. And that requires you to release inappropriate clients, but do it right. Now, I want you to think about that amazing life of significance by serving fewer and wealthier clients and doing a great job with them, and doing it in a way that you can move up this hierarchy faster and with less effort than you ever thought possible. Now, the biggest question I get every time is, will you take a look at my practice to see how I can do this and make it even more effective? So I can race up that hierarchy of advisor success. And I got a whole, great team that does this. So it's a resounding yes. Every day our team works with financial advisors just like you to show you the specific actions that you should take to race up that hierarchy of advisor success. And we call it a strategy call. And somewhere around here, depending on where you're watching it, there should be a link that you can click that will schedule a calendar meeting. And if you're anywhere else other than our website, go to cgworldwide.com, and you'll see not only the ability to schedule your strategy call, what we call the best year ever consultation, where you take a look at where you are now, where you want to go, what are those gaps, and what would we do based on our empirical research, as well as our anecdotal experience of working with thousands of top financial advisors and those aspiring to be top financial advisors. What can you do to have the next 12 months the best 12 months ever, and build such a foundation that just continues year after year as you race up that hierarchy of advisor success? Not only can you schedule it there, but you'll have access to our webinars, our virtual conferences, and all the different assets that we have on our website. So the question that I want you to ask yourself is, should you be releasing non-ideal clients now? Only you know your practice. But I can tell you it can make a huge difference with your clients, your prospective clients, your ability to market going forward, and your ability to work with COIs, which will allow you to work at the very top level. They're all counting on you. Don't let them down. Go make it happen.